What up, everybody? Welcome in to Beltway Football on Monumental Sports Network. I think this is a stream, might be on YouTube. I don't really know. I know that it's raining and it's late, and the second half of that preseason game was god-awful. Mitchell, I'm just kind of done with the Sam Hartman experience. I don't even think we need to address it. You want to address it?
I think he's going to play a whole lot in Baltimore, and he's going to have to play real well if he wants to be on this roster.
Yeah, he just put him back on the practice squad. All's well. Let's start with what was good. The opening drive, Debo looked awesome. C-Rod looked awesome. And then Jayden gave everybody a minor heart attack, said that's how he plays ball. He doesn't care. But, I mean, that opening drive was incredible, 7-0. And then Bill breaks one, a 30-yarder. They had over 100 yards rushing in the first 10 minutes of this game. Bad day for Brian Robinson. You know what I mean? Like, that ship has clearly sailed based on Dan Quinn's comments in postgame. It's kind of crazy how fast that whole thing escalated. But clearly they're comfortable moving forward with Eckler, Bill, McNichols, and Rodriguez.
Yeah, I mean, that's where we're at with this thing. We're brought to you by MGM National Harbor. We love going down there for everything down there. Tap Sports Bar, Sportsbook, Blackjack, all of it. Listen, this is where we are with the running game. It would be way better than this rainy field. This is where we are with them. I am not that optimistic about it. I love seeing the run game tonight. I thought the offensive line opened some huge holes, but I think there's a lot of question marks at running back. Listen, C-Rod and Bill both looked really good, but C-Rod is relatively untested. He's played late in the season and played well, but he started looking good and playing well late in the season when Brian Robinson was injured. Bill, banged up his shoulder, 5 carries into the Patriots game. I'm not saying that's a long-term thing. Austin Eckler's had 2 concussions last year. I think that B-Rob gives you a level of safety. I'm not asking that he gets 14, 15 carries a game, but I think that he had value being a solid, durable, mostly durable back in the system.
Missed a lot of time,
at the end of the day, he's played 14 and 15 games the past 2 years. So, yeah, he certainly has missed time, but for the most part, he's proven that he can do it for 200 carries a season or whatever. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter because clearly it's moved on. And, we got a chance to talk to Dan Quinn after the game, and he addressed the Brian Robinson situation.
Adam and I had met with Brian yesterday and known that we would hold him out of the game tonight. And there's just a lot of moving parts. This time of year, those things take place. And so I just wanted to make sure that's my responsibility, to let the team know whenever I can so they're not hearing any information from anywhere else. So that was all. It's more of the standard operating procedure for me. But if I have a chance when things come up, especially during this time of year, when I can bring them together and discuss things, I want them to hear those things from me first. That's all.
I think DQ always tries to handle things the right way. I think meeting with the team, he and Peters met with B-Rob, then they met with the team. I applaud them for how they're doing it. This doesn't seem like necessary. Like, I don't see what's forcing them to get this done right now. You know what I'm saying? But they clearly think it's the right course of action. It is interesting. Rodriguez was here last year, and these guys cut him. You know what I mean? Like they cut him and brought him back to the practice squad. Maybe he got better. You got to give him credit for that. But it's an interesting turn of events. And I get they want explosive offense. They want quicker guys out of the backfield. And they don't think B-Rob can be that. But to me, there's kind of a direct line from Bill to B-Rob's release in a lot of ways.
Certainly. If Bill didn't pop the way that he has in camp, I don't think that they could afford to get rid of him. But Bill's looked really good. One thing that I want to see more from Bill, and I don't think we're going to get to see it until week 1, is how he does in pass pro, because that's something that B-Rob had stepped up and was pretty good at. But ultimately, I think, you look at this running back room and you have guys that are more explosive there. B-Rob last year had 10 carries of 10 plus yards. He only had 2 carries over 20 yards. He didn't have a lot of those big popping numbers. And for an offense that's trying to move quickly and do all the different things that they're doing, I think that, you look at what we saw just tonight from both C-Rod and Bill, and they want to do it. And, you said it's against the Bengals defense, which isn't very good. We saw them get torched in week 1 against the Eagles backups. But at the end of the day, all you can do is play the guys in front of you. And I loved what we saw from the offensive line. I mean, there was no Laramie Tunsil tonight. but Wiley and Chris Paul on the left side looked solid, and then on the right side, I thought Josh Connerly was awesome tonight. I thought it was a really, really good performance from him, and that's going to be the last we see of him in the preseason. So he's going to be ready to go week 1, September 7th.
Yeah, man, I think there's real reasons to be excited with the offensive line. To your point, I thought they were really good. That Baldinger tweeted out about, the Bill
Counter
touchdown
Trey.
run. I saw Beamish in the hallway at halftime, and he's like, Jay, you could have run that thing in. I think he was untouched. That was just perfectly blocked. John Bates was killing dudes. It was super short, and Jayden didn't throw a pass, and I saw enough. I was like, cool, get him off the
Yeah.
field.
How
A
nervous
couple
were you on
little,
the touchdown run?
You
get
right at the goal line when there's 3 guys right there, it's like, oh
yeah.
boy. But that's who he is. Are we going to play Jayden sound?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Let's go to Jayden Daniels here.
Jayden explain it. Yeah.
It was fun. We can go back out there, play football live again. So it was a fun feeling.
And you made the move of getting Bill the game ball or his touchdown ball. You had to go a long ways to get it. What was your thought there?
I did. It was his first one. I know he was super excited about it, and I blame other people that are on the field at that time. They're supposed to grab the ball for him, knowing that was the instance. But I still remember mine last year when Zach and Terry made sure I got my ball, so I had to return the favor.
Can you walk us through the touchdown and what you saw on that one?
I wanted to throw the corner route to C-Rod. It was man coverage, and I was late over the middle of Debo, and then after that, my instincts kind of just took over.
I love the way Jayden explained that. He's like, man, when I'm playing football, I'm playing ball. It's funny to hear the sliding questions again, and I get that it's preseason and not a regular season game, so maybe that should change his mindset, but I'm glad it doesn't. You gotta play your game, man, and that's his game. I'm not mad. I'm not worried about Jayden. What I've said, the B-Rob move, what I've said all along is I think the floor of this team is so high because of Jayden Daniels. I think he's an elite player, right? I think Terry's absence, and he wasn't here tonight, but they said it was an excused absence. I think everybody's trying to get through that stuff as painless as possible. Not having Terry, I do think, affects the ceiling of this team, not the floor. Unfortunately, with B-Rob, I don't think it affects the ceiling or the floor. I think he's a nice player. You'd like to have him, but they clearly want to go a different direction.
Yeah, we saw this running game explode at the start of the game. 6 carries, 106 yards, 2 touchdowns in 3 minutes of offensive possession time. I don't think we've seen a run game like that here in Washington since RG3 and Alfred Morris were running around there. And you look at Alfred Morris, who was a 6th-round running back, came out, played really well, kind of demanded to take that role, took that role, and you hope that we're going to be able to see the same from Bill. I would have liked to see Jayden and this passing offense do a little bit, but at the end of the day, when they come out there and they score at will and as easily as they did, I understand why they didn't keep him out there. I did like seeing Jalen Lane had the really nice catch on the crosser from Sam Hartman. That was really nice to see him show off his hands and his ability to kind of fight off a DB. That was great to see. There was one play early when Josh Johnson.
He shows you he could play in the league. You know what I mean?
And he had a good punt return too.
Yeah.
That first punt return was nice. Caught it with pressure, kind of shimmied around a couple guys and got some yards. Even Luke McCaffrey, who didn't have a catch today and didn't pop, but there was one possession early in the game when Luke was running a go route down the left side, kind of right over there in that corner of the end zone. And that's a ball that I think Jayden probably would have thrown. He was one-on-one with the DB, had a step on him, could have gotten it. Josh Johnson was a little more conservative with the ball. I want to see a little bit more from these wide receivers. Noah Brown was out on this field before the game warming up. He did some running, some light jogging, I would say, not kind of a full warm-up, but it was good to see him out there, and hopefully this Terry situation gets figured out quickly, and Jayden and Terry and this offense can start humming in practice and get ready for that Giants game.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think, Jayden joked that Terry will be coming through that door sometime soon. Clearly he believes that, I think. The player that kind of has been a big talking point throughout camp, and then again tonight, was Bill Merritt. Let's let everybody hear from Bill and some of the guys in the locker room.
I was in a moment when I dropped the football. Like, I planned when I was gonna score my first NFL touchdown, I was gonna keep the ball, but like I was so in the moment and just end up dropping it. But like that's the leadership that he has, and I'm happy he found it for me.
Aside from the touchdown, overall, how did you feel out there? Kind of take us through those moments a little bit.
I feel pretty good. I just know it's some things that I have to clean up, and I just look forward to getting better every week.
I felt awesome. I felt super blessed to be out there, healthy. Just being able to get out there with these guys, man, I loved it.
What was that like putting on the burgundy jersey for the first time? Because obviously you made your debut in a sense tonight.
It was chills for sure. It gave me chills. I had goosebumps leading up to it. And, so I can't say enough.
It felt great. I mean, I feel like there was a good amount of people out there for the preseason game, and I mean, it felt great. Just get out there and go.
Jayden comes in, you get the touchdown on the first drive. How nice was that? He wasn't there long, but just to get that score right off the bat.
Yeah, it was great. I mean, obviously he just did what he did, and we got the run game going early, and I feel like that really set the tone.
I mean, it felt good. I played a lot more outside this game, and it's always good when the ball comes your way. But it was a solid game.
What about the overall effort, from the team, just compared to that Week 1 game against New England?
I think we were definitely lived up more of our standard this game. Still didn't turn out how we wanted, but you could just see we played with a lot more physicality than I think we did play Week 1.
All right, good to hear from the boys in the locker room. I thought it was the right tone in there. They lost this game, but these results are pretty inconsequential. Do you want to do game balls, big man?
Yeah,
I
let's
think
get game
the
balls.
starting O-line gets one for sure. They were great.
Yeah, I've been critical of Chris Paul along the way. He's just kind of been a hanger-on for the past couple seasons. He stepped in here today, and particularly on the Croskey-Merritt touchdown run. Both he and Wiley pulled across. Both got really nice kick-out blocks. Connerly got someone. John Bates got someone. John Bates gets a game ball as well. He blocked like a son of a gun tonight. Connerly was excellent tonight. I mean, I don't know that you could ask for a whole lot more from him. I think in the run game and in the pass game as well, you saw him use his speed and quickness. You saw him be able to react to pass rushers. He was able to shadow their moves, kind of set himself and keep guys from getting to the quarterback. Even on the interception from Josh Johnson, it was a really nice play from Connerly, who kind of stepped to the outside. The DN kind of raced underneath him. He was able to shuffle over, get in front of him, kind of slow down his momentum. It was a really, really good day from the starting offensive line, and it's only helping kind of cement what I've been saying on the pod a couple times, which is that I think this offensive line has a chance to be one of the best we've seen in our lifetime, JP, with this burgundy and gold team.
Big man getting fired up by the big men. I don't know that we quite go game balls, but to me, Bill, Debo, Jayden, C-Rod, those first 4 runs were just phenomenal. It's at least hat tips to all of them. And maybe Bill gets one. You know what? Bill gets one because it's his first score in the bigs. And then Jayden gets one for running over to get the ball to give back to him. That was just such a cool moment. And he explained that, Terry and Ertz got it for him last year and kind of what it meant. I love that stuff. And that was in a commercial break. That wasn't some design thing for the cameras. It was just Jayden being genuine.
And, you mentioned about Jayden earlier just being such an elite player, and there's no question that he is. I think the other part of the Jayden experience that makes this team better is the intangible that he brings to the field, the excitement, the enthusiasm, the guts, the power, the intestinal fortitude to do whatever it takes to win a football game. And there aren't a whole lot of quarterbacks in the NFL that are, taking off in a preseason game and risking to take a hit. And there's a good side and a bad side to it. But certainly it was great to see, Jayden kind of come out with that kind of fire and see this offense move, because it moved better tonight than we really saw a whole lot in training camp.
I was impressed by the D-line also. I thought Dorrance played really well.
Dorrance, yeah.
I was also impressed with the defensive line. I thought Dorrance Armstrong played really well. He's had a really good camp. I thought Jacob Martin was good tonight. Wise, I'll give a goat to the horse collar call. His left hand did kind of get there, but I mean, he's in the pocket, he's out of the pocket. That's just such a tough call to make in that situation. And the danger of the horse collar is when you pull them back and your weight goes down on the ball carrier, and that's not what happened there. I don't know. I thought from your starters it was a very encouraging night in
I agree.
abbreviated work.
Yeah, I mean, you saw this. Bengals offense, put up points and move the ball at will against the Eagles last week in Week 1. And granted, you had the long PI call, which was the right call and a tough play. But most part, you saw them do a good job against the run. Didn't give up too many. Didn't give up big plays or the edges, which I think was important. And then for all the edge angst, they got after Joe Burrow pretty well tonight, and they had him uncomfortable. And I can't imagine that the Bengals coaches love seeing Burrow run that little twiddly-do circular thing and take that hit right at the goal line,
Right.
kind of right behind me there. But those guys did a good job of getting after it. Kane Madrano was kind of interesting in the middle,
right
not quite a game
there.
ball. Yeah, right
Right there is where
for those that are watching.
Yeah.
Kane Madrano in the middle, I thought looked fast on the field. I think he obviously still has some work to do. Andre Jones had a sack. He gets a game ball as well. Quan Martin, that opening drive, he had 2 huge tackles, particularly the one at the goal line, which is on the far side of the field over there, but to force the 4th down play. Ultimately, the Bengals got in the end zone, but Quan kind of came from across the field, probably 5 yards deep in the end zone, crossed over the goal line, put a big hit on whoever it was that caught that ball and kept it out of the end zone. I think Quan is,
I think it was Chad
doing a good
Brown.
job.
I wrote that play down.
Was it Chase Brown?
I think Chase Brown. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
I think autocorrected to Chad.
Yeah.
I agree. I think Quan is poised for like maybe a Pro Bowl type season. I thought it was really good to see Lattimore run, and you saw his physicality. He wasn't out there much, but he came up in support on a tackle and just threw his shoulder in there. Like, he's a physical ass player, and I think they love that. I have 2 goats. Go ahead.
Okay, go for it. I don't know if it's definitely not a GOAT, but it was disappointing not to see Trey Amos play out there today.
That was my one thing. You ruined it.
Oh, my bad. Well, there we go. Anyway, I'll take a GOAT for that one. Who do you got for GOATs?
Well, Luvu, dude, you can't jump on that 4th down. They're clearly not snapping it. And like coming on the heels of the NFC title game and the tush push and everything, like it's a one-off. Frankie Luvu's a great player. Like, I'm not concerned about it, but you can't jump in that spot. And then a GOAT to my hair and the rain and the wind. Because I think I look like a bona fide idiot. And this is, I don't know what content platform visually going to be on, but if you want to see me look like an idiot, check it out.
You want a game ball? It's to me not having a whole lot of hair. I'm perfectly fine out there, JP. Don't have the same problems as you. Not often that I can take credit or enjoy something along those lines, but here we are. And you can watch us on YouTube
like
on the
Hartman.
Beltway. Yeah. Real quick, Beltway Football YouTube channel and Monumental Plus on the website, monumentalsportsnetwork.com. Check out the videos. It's a lot of fun. Sam Hartman, you're right. Definitely deserves one. I don't know if Josh Johnson deserves a
dude.
Right. I don't know if Josh Johnson deserves a GOAT per se,
I looked this
but
up before the end of the game. He wasn't good, but he's better than Hartman.
No. But he fumbled the ball, which they recovered, and he threw a pick.
Hartman was 4 of 10 for 29 yards. He averaged 2.9 yards per attempt. His quarterback rating, out of 100%, the chance he gave his team to win was an 8.3.
Listen, that third preseason game against the Bengals is going to be.
God bless the people
against the Ravens. Yeah, he's going to have to go out and play well, because otherwise he's going to be back on the practice squad, and I'm sure he doesn't want that. And ultimately, the team wants the best guy to stay there as that number 3. But Josh Johnson just gives you a level of stability that Sam Hartman isn't showing you right now.
Dude, there's no chance he could be on the roster, even if he looks like Joe Montana against the Ravens 3rd teamers. Like, he's the practice squad, period.
Yeah. All right, let's get to one thing brought to you by MGM. Tap Sports Bar, great place. Awesome chicken nuggets.
I'm pretty sure
What else you got?
I was also supposed to mention Oarsman Automotive of Virginia at some point. I don't think I did, so we're just dropping that right here. Shout out to Oarsman Automotive of Virginia.
Yeah, we love Oarsman. You want to start, JP, or you want me to go?
I got one. I could go.
Okay, I got one too. Go for it. You start.
As much as we're watching Josh Johnson and Sam Hartman, we got to just kind of chat with Mariota when he walked in. and he's in such a good headspace. Like, I think he's fine. And if this was the regular season and they needed Mariota, I think Mariota would be going. So, for whatever the fears are with that, I think it's okay. That's my one thing.
For me, my one thing is quick. Josh Connerly is your week 1 starting right tackle. For the angst that folks had early on in camp with, whatever
I think that was
perceived
manufactured
struggles.
angst.
I agree, but
you can't have angst about a rookie tackle before pads are on.
It was permeating the Twitter sphere and the fan base that he wasn't performing up to snuff. And we on this podcast, I think both of us took a reasoned look at it, recognizing that he was, changing positions to the right side. He was excellent tonight. I mean, he was very, very good, and I have no doubt that he'll be starting that season at right tackle. And quite frankly, I think that you look at the domino effect across the offensive line. That's a really, really good thing because you can slide Wiley to the inside. You'll have obviously Laramie on the outside.
Wiley's playing his ass off in camp, man.
He's looking really good, and this group is coming together well. I think there's big things ahead for them.
You said up to snuff. You ever tried snuff?
What is snuff? Snuff is dip?
I don't know. I know it's a thing, but I've never had it.
When we were in Munich for Oktoberfest, they had.
That's where I saw some dude doing snuff. Was in Munich.
Yeah, it was a German. House. Yeah, it's like whatever this German thing is. It's like a minty. It's a minty white powder and certainly seems like something else, but folks in Germany love it.
All right, big man. Now that we've clarified snuff from Germany, I think we're done. You done? We're standing in. It's 12:30 and it's raining and we're outside.
Yep, and the second half of that game was a real snuff fest. So let's get moving, and we'll be back on Wednesday for your next pod. Thursday TV show. Lots of stuff coming for you guys.
We got a TV show this week?
We got a TV show this week.
All right, I will.
I know you're very excited.
My hair will be combed. No, I'm good with it. All right, we're going to go. You made it this far. Mitch owes you some snuff.